I'll start um, with an introduction. This is a standard chemical engineering, a core chemical engineering course. It's basically about designing distillation columns. So um, students all over the world take a very similar course, no matter what program they're in. Last year, I started at UCI on April 1st. The first lecture was, I think, March 29th. And so you can imagine that the Canvas page that went up was really more like a Dropbox folder than a course page. It had the files that we needed to share. It had the homeworks, and the lecture recordings and slides went up there. And so the major changes this year are in the organization, and so factually it's much easier to use. But in terms of philosophy, I think the students will be much more comfortable going into the course on day one, knowing what to expect and knowing what the calendar is and knowing what they need to do to succeed. So that's I would say that the major evolution thanks to this program. There's a splash page here. Of course, designed by Fanny, not myself, but with key information about grading and the calendar. They can find much more information on the syllabus, which I think will answer pretty much all their questions. If they read it before day one, then great. They'll have a great idea of what to expect about the policies and the grading scheme and whatever they need to know. And then the content itself is organized into modules. So last year I used modules, just one module per week, and the files that were created that week were found there. And this year the modules are topical, so they'll get the lecture recordings and slides after the lecture is given. I'll stick with synchronous lectures this year just to connect as well as I can with them. I got addicted to the writing on the slides as I go, so it seems, I hope, a little bit more like I'm there. But for the students who can't attend synchronously, the recordings will be online. They can see what assignments are coming, what reading they need to do each week, when there's a homework due. So it's right there in front of them without any surprises. There's another new development this year will be a discussion board, just so the hope is that they'll connect with each other just a little bit better. If I know when I was an undergrad, we'd meet in the library or wherever to work on problem sets together. And they may not be able to do that next spring, but I added a discussion board so they could at least ask each other questions and maybe clarify something in a problem set now and then. And I'll loosely monitor that just to see how they're using it and to see if I need to jump in and clarify anything. And then the Zoom links being added to the Canvas page, I think, are also just one more little convenience. Everybody can get everything they need right there by logging in. It's also convenient for me. So I think the big changes are just oriented around the students' comfort from day one, knowing what to expect and knowing where to get all the information they could want. And I'll continue to, I think, experiment with some aspects, like giving a couple asynchronous lectures and seeing what kind of feedback I get from that. So that there's still plenty to toy around with. But we're looking a lot better than we were last spring.